Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Wendy Fernando. I'm a student in Duta Wacana Christian University. So today I will share about my understanding in research ethics. And in this video, I will explain about the what are the research ethics, the four basics principles in research ethics, the examples of ethics practices in quantitative and qualitative research, and the unethical practices that should be avoided, and what is informed consent and consent form. So first, what are research ethics? Ethics are closely associated with morals and involve embracing moral issues in the context of working with humans by Georgi 2003. It means ethics have now evolved to include issues beyond humans, incorporating a respect for and conservation of the environment. According to Burgess 1989, ethical questions are the subject of interdisciplinary deliberations. Over the years, philosophers have examined ethical issues in abstract terms, whereas sociologists and psychologists have focused on extreme cases and research scandals to highlight ethical issues in research. Broadly, there are three different perspectives on ethics. At first, ethics as a disposition. This perspective is derived from Aristotle's notion of virtues that a person possesses, such as justice, generosity, and honesty. Ethics in this instance is a disposition. Second, ethics as duty. This perspective is derived from Kant, and it focuses on the duty humans have to act in ways that show respect to other human beings. Third, ethics as utilitarian. This perspective relates to guiding principles for ethical conduct that should benefit a majority of people. Uh, all, all three of these perspectives are important, and they should not be seen as mutually exclusive. Educational researchers should be aware of all of them. However, it is the latter of one that dominates approaches to ethics within institutions where educational research is conducted. There are four basic principles in research ethics. All research involving human subjects should be conducted in accordance with four basic ethical principles. There are respect for persons, beneficence, non-maleficence, and justice. Respect for persons incorporate at least two other fundamental ethical principles, namely autonomy, which requires that those who are capable of deliberation about their personal goals should be treated with respect for their capacity for self-determination, and protection of persons which impair or diminish autonomy, which requires that those who are dependent or vulnerable be afforded security against harm or abuse. For the examples, the participant is children, people with special needs, and prisoner. Beneficent is the ethical obligation to maximize possible benefits and to minimize possible harms and wrongs. Third, non-maleficence. Non-maleficence holds a central position in the traditions of educational ethics and guards against avoidable harm to research subjects. And the last is justice. Justice requires that cases considered to be alike be treated alike, and that cases considered to be different be treated in ways that acknowledge the difference. examples ethical practice in quantitative and qualitative research. In the quantitative, while giving the questionnaires, write only that relates to your research. What it means that when we as the researchers and we want to giving the questionnaire to our participants, it should the questionnaire should have the question that important, not not have the far topic from the what we need to from the participants. The function is to make the duration about the time used in writing the questionnaire. And second, make the short question and answer. Of course, it can help to making the durations in shortly time. And the last is giving them the gift. You maybe give them or not is up to you, because maybe when we give them the participants the gift, they will happy and write the questionnaires. And then the qualitative have first is have the clear instruction and rules. Means that direction for the participants. For the examples, please read this consent form carefully and ask as many questions as you like before you decide whether or not you want to participate in this research study. You are free to ask questions at any time before, during, or after your participation in this research. Second, being responsible to the research. In this the researchers should have the confidentiality to the participants. For the example, I will not share information about you or anything you say to anyone outside of the researchers team. The information that we collect will be kept in a locked file cabinet or encrypted computer file. Any information about you will have a number on it instead of your name. Only I will know what your number is, and I will secure the information. And third, giving the gift for the participant who want to do the interview. When we do the qualitative research, we will have the interview section, and so maybe some of the participants don't want to doing the interview because maybe there will be spend a lot of time when they will have another activity. So perhaps as if we as the researchers, we can give them the gift about their effort or willingness when help us doing the research. And the examples of unethical practices that should be avoided. This is the unethical practices is deceptions. Based on Paul Macocho articles, deception is a situation where the researcher knowingly conceals the true purposes and condition of the research, or else positively misinforms the subjects or exposes them to unduly painful, stressful, or embarrassing experiences without the subjects having knowledge of what is going on. In psychology, deceptions has been commonly employed to increase experimental control. Its use has, however, sparked a lot of controversy. Some proponents argue that without the use of deceptions, it would be impossible to investigate many significant problems in contemporary experimental methodology. Some researchers feel that the only way to discover the important truths is to use a deception experiment, and the truth so discover far outweigh to harm of lies told in the process. From my opinion, yeah, deception is unethical practices, and we shouldn't do this. Shouldn't do this in our research. The last is informed consent and consent from. Informed consent from is the process of telling potential research participants about the key elements of a research study and what the participant will involve. The informed consent process is one of the central components of the ethical conduct of research with human subjects. Consent form is typically used to provide subjects with the information they need to make decisions to volunteer for a research study. Usually, consent form will include the researcher's introduction, purpose of research, methodology use, and others. Okay, I think that's all about my explanation. Thank you for your attention and see you.